are, day 28. We made it. You've done it. You've completed the 28 days of videos. Hopefully you've had a little time to spend with your sketchbook each day too. I know many of you have. Some of you have also had a lot of other things going on, some unforeseen. Everybody's going to come here with a different life situation, but the goal is to show up every day, whether you were just watching the video, whether you're working in your sketchbook also, whether you had 5 minutes or whether you had 5 hours, right? We're all at a different place, and sometimes we're at a different place every single day. But the point of this class is to find ways to hold yourself accountable and to find ways to excite you, different things, all the different things that we've tried that might entice you and excite you and help you to show up to your sketchbook. For our last lesson together, I want to read you something. And we started by reading from Pixie Lighthorse. And I was going to do that again, read you the same thing over again. But I discovered something else along the way, and I've been saving it for today. So I wrote it. Okay, so this was on an Instagram post of the artist Luisa Fernino, and it just really struck me, and it's everything that I have said to you all throughout this course, but said in her own way. And I would add to what she has written also, just from my own personal experience, but I'm gonna read this to you, and we are actually going to write it into our sketchbook, but I want to read it to you first. She calls it drawing above all. And when I say drawing, the word drawing, think of it as your sketchbook, because your sketchbook is drawing. Drawing above all. Drawing is my anchor. Drawing is my peace of mind. Drawing brings me down from anxiety. Drawing lifts me up from sadness. Drawing captures time. Drawing is always available. Drawing contains my humanity. Drawing is how I interact with the world. Drawing occupies my mind, my hands, and my senses. Drawing is my survival skill. Right? And I would add, drawing helps me to see reality. Because it does. It helps me to see the truth. The more we draw, the more we can understand the truth and reality that's all around us. It keeps us present and real. So we're going to write those things in our sketchbooks, but we're going to put my sketchbook is my anchor. My sketchbook is my peace of mind. We're going to do that. But before, I'm going to read a poem. And this was shared in our group, in our classroom on one of the first lessons by Lee. The poem is by Deborah Ann Quibble, and I thought it was magical. And when you hear the word she, think of your sketchbook. A bouquet of possibility. Find your way to the dreamer who lives inside of you. Make eye contact and smile, but make no sudden moves. If you approach her with a bag of fear and skepticism, she will scurry and tire. She will lose her glisten. But if you offer her a bouquet of possibility and remain open, she will etch the most magnificent pictures onto the walls of your heart and begin to dismantle with great glee and pleasure the structures of self-doubt that dampen you. You are meant to creatively expand beyond what you can imagine. She is your guide, the one who moves into the mysterious and magically makes things happen. Whatever you do, don't dismiss her. Find her and then never, ever let her go. The her, the she, is your sketchbook. Your sketchbook is your muse. It's all of those things. So let's take this time. You can go back to some of the first lessons and find Lee's comment if you want to copy the poem down in your sketchbook. I highly recommend it. So let's take a little tour of what we've done together so far. We wrote the names of our tools, our sacred tools, tools that become more and more sacred over time. We drew our finger. We drew our accountability buddy. We wrote about accountability. We did abstract drawings. We drew from a rubber stamp or something that was pre-existing. We did all sorts of blind contour and blindfolded things. We drew our tools. We drew a spider web of connection. We used our non-dominant hand. We drew learning, seeing, drawing. We drew our hand that is always available to us as the perfect subject. We learned about magic pencils. We learned about doodling and the difference between doodling and mark making. We drew an illustration that we love. We learned a little bit about Japanese books. We learned about patterns and pattern making and how to keep a pattern making sketchbook. We did blindfolded self-portraits. We drew a stone. We drew from nature. We drew the current phase of the moon. We drew on dark paper. We spilled coffee and made it into a drawing. Right? We drew something, a treasure. More dark paper. We learned about drawing on other paper and just pasting it into our sketchbook. We drew from random Google images. We drew in a coffee shop. We were inspired by Patti Smith and drew with words. And we drew in the outside world, which sometimes means sitting at your desk and looking out the window, right? So many things that we've done. It's been amazing to see all of your work. So let's take a moment and choose the tool that you want to use. And I'm going to use a bright fluorescent marker, I think. And we're going to spend some time writing down drawing above all. And so let's see here. These are our jelly roll pens. Just trying to find some different colors, so it's just really bright and cheerful and just how I like it. We'll see how we do with those. I just think this list should be bright. So we're going to start with drawing above all, and I'm going to write that with my magic pencil. But we're going to write our my sketchbook above all. However you want to write it. I am not a lettering person, so I just keep it pretty simple. And I'm not a lettering person because I'm left-handed and I've just never figured it out. So it's not that I don't want to be. My sketchbook above all. My sketchbook is my anchor. My sketchbook is my peace of mind. My sketchbook brings me down from anxiety. My sketchbook lifts me up from sadness. My sketchbook captures time. My sketchbook is always available because we can draw on anything and tape it into our sketchbook, right? My sketchbook contains my humanity. Here it is right there. Mistakes. My sketchbook contains my humanity. Because now that you have a habit, you're going to start drawing what you love, right? And what we love is who we are. My sketchbook contains my humanity. My sketchbook is how I interact with the world. My sketchbook occupies my mind, my hands, and my senses. My sketchbook is my survival skill. My sketchbook teaches me to be present and see truth. That's my own. My sketchbook brings me to my own authentic art. Well, is the path to my own authentic art. And finally, my sketchbook helps me see the ordinary as extraordinary. And if you have more to add, please do, and please share. I love bullet points. All of these things that your sketchbook brings to your life and that you have nurtured over these 28 days and that you will continue to nurture as time moves on and you continue to show up, right? Please keep showing up here when you want to share something, a beautiful page from your sketchbook, just to check in. I will be looking at the comments every day except for usually Sundays I don't, but until whenever. I mean, I don't ever plan on removing this class. So keep showing up and sharing. It's wonderful, right? Share this class with other people. You don't have to know how to draw to begin a sketchbook and to benefit from it. One thing I have learned is this question: how good do we really have to be at something to benefit from it? Not very good, right? We don't. But the magical part is every day when we show up, we get better and better and better. And I'm sure you've already seen that. Something magical happens along the way when we do the work, right? When we show up. All right, everyone. I hope that you have gleaned something really sacred about your practice during these 28 days. And I hope it grows and grows and grows. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for your practice.